Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. It's been an exciting month in Michigan as we travel the back roads, bringing you unusual as well as inspiring stories of Great Lakes people and places to visit. Our journeys this month included gunfights in Little West Town in northern Michigan, equestrian competition and celebration, the wood wizardry at our first unique wood show, and of course sampling some of the most mouth-watering food to be found in the Great Lakes region. All those stops and more are coming up at future editions of Michigan Magazine. But on this week's show, we bring you our own wildlife whisperer and rehabilitationist, Joe Rogers, whose organization rescues, rehabs, and releases to the wild injured wildlife and also has made it his mission to educate through special presentations the plights of injured wildlife one may find in the woods and along our busy highways. Plus, stay tuned for another phrase of the week, giving you another chance to win big here on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. What began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more. Plus a full menu at the new adjacent traffic stop diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Hale Hardware, your do-it-center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. Remembering good times and great food, Frank and Lisa invite you to Tin Lizzie's in Mayo for a blast back to the 50s and 60s when food was made from scratch, including home-ground Angus burgers. A full menu of great food and good memories await you at the new Tin Lizzie's of Mayo. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery.
To educate people on Michigan's wildlife is an amazing goal being met through the work of volunteers in the Wildlife Recovery Association. And volunteers like today's guest biologist, Joe Rogers, makes learning about birds of Michigan a true adventure with close encounters. He provides through his growing list of injured species, his specific program has saved from certain death. Joe's program of saving birds of prey that are beyond rehabilitation for educational programs and presentations has been providing schools and other civic organizations opportunities to learn more about what lives in our forest. Today we visit with Joe at a presentation at Fairview Area Schools. Joe's Birds of Prey presentation has gained quite a reputation. We met Joe as he was preparing for today's show and learned of his early love of wildlife that now has become his life's passion.
Whatever got you interested in birds to start with?
Oh, I was probably one of those kids who dragged home everything.
Yeah.
My parents did work with wildlife as I grew up working with them. And so my parents took care of injured wildlife back when I was in junior high school. And I just sort of kept with it. Okay. Went to college.
And
I've got a degree from Central Michigan University. Okay. And the school we work with, the veterinary college, is University of Minnesota. Dr. Reddick, Dr. Turnoff, Dr. Martell a lot. Okay. They have a beautiful, good rehabilitation program over there. We've gone over there for specialized training.
Great.
And some of the research we've done up through the Western UP has been through University of Minnesota. Okay. And we've worked sometimes with Michigan State and University of Michigan.
All right, so let's see Lady. Hopefully, will Lady behave, will she?
Oh, she's a good bird.
You see a lot of the red-tailed hawks like this on poles along the highways, taking care of a lot of the rodents and a lot of the rabbits and stuff, right?
Well, actually, when you see them along the expressway, they're usually not hunting. Expressways are not highly productive areas. We mow it so it doesn't produce seeds and things.
Yeah.
And the roads kill a lot. But they're smart.
Yeah.
They know that one of the best places not to be bothered by people, because people don't walk, cars don't stop, is to hide right out in the open along the expressway. So they have become the expressway hawk.
Yeah,
So a lot of the
really.
studies have shown that they'll sit there, and if something does come out, they'll grab it. But they'll often take off and hunt miles
Aren't
away
they?
From the expressway and then come back to the expressway.
Aren't they a beautiful bird, though?
They're most people's typical idea of a hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are beautiful.
Of course, most of them don't look like this. Many of them have got pure white bellies.
White?
Or they can have yellow bellies or orange bellies or spotted bellies. They can have light brown tails, light brown tails, dark brown cross-legs, dark brown, light brown cross-legs. They have black tails, like sandy colored tails, bright red tails, dark red tails, orange red tails, sandy tails. They're
Looks like
all red-tailed
like a
hawks.
peacock right now. He's got his tail spread almost. But
That's part of their language. They do a lot of talking with their tails. A lot of hawks sort of look alike in their body, but their tails are very distinct. And of course, they can see each other a mile away up in the sky.
Sight is very, very excellent, isn't it?
Right. They can see more colors than we can see. So a lot of colors, birds actually reflect ultraviolet color patterns that we cannot see. And when she's up in the sky, when she sees another hawk a mile, 2 miles away, she turns sideways and she'll flip her tail at them.
So
and she's telling them she's a mature adult red-tailed hawk. She's our territory. The other hawk better go around and respect her ground.
How old is she?
She's 5.
5. Now, like you were saying earlier, Joe, these birds will not be let loose in the wild again because they're just not rehabilitated.
Right, they're permanently injured.
Yeah. And they are part of our wonderful nature.
Well, red-tails are not the most common hawk in Michigan.
What is the most common?
The broad-winged hawk. But he's a little secretive, in the woods kind of hawk that people don't see. These guys are big. They're right out in the open. They're along the roads and highways. So if they're there, you see them. And it used to be that in southern Michigan, the red-shouldered hawk was the #1 hawk, but they've gone way down in numbers. And the red-tails have come up. So there's a lot of population
So how many birds of prey then do you have there at your place there?
We have about 20 under state and federal permits to be used in educational purposes for programs to be able to take out to the public, and that's one set of permits. We also have the permits to deal with rehabilitation, and we currently have about another 20 birds that have come in injured that we hope will be released.
People bring them in, people call, DNR calls, says, Joe, we have a hawk or we have an eagle or whatever it may be. Do you take in other birds besides the birds of prey? I mean, like ducks or...
We used to work with almost any animal native to Michigan, but our funding has gone down and down. And we need to limit the number of animals we take in to being able to do a good job. So we don't work with any of the animals that are overpopulated. We don't work with raccoons, we don't work with pigeons, we don't work with starlings and mourning doves, in part just because we don't have enough money.
How many folks are there out there like yourself that are licensed to do what you do in the state of Michigan, would you say?
There's probably somewhere between 300 and 400. In many states, they limit the number of people who do rehabilitation, and that way you can have a few centers that can get funding and do a good job because the birds are sent to central centers. But in Michigan, they've gone the other way, and there are literally hundreds and hundreds of people, many of which don't have the specialized knowledge and equipment to do it properly.
Now, you're out here on the road to schools like this and other institutions. How many shows like this a year do you do?
Last year we did 340 presentations, but some of them were up to like 6 in a day. Today we'll be doing I think 5 different presentations.
My goodness. Do you have a favorite bird?
Oh, one of the nice things about birds is you can have about 1,000 favorites. They aren't that jealous of each other. You can have a favorite hummingbird, a favorite falcon, a favorite hawk, a favorite
But when it comes
owl.
to food, though, there might be a little problem there, or is there?
Well, and when you deal with wildlife, you accept the predator-prey relationship that is out there. I mean, even people who like wildflowers may have a problem with things that eat plants. And today, with the deer population so high, a lot of our wildflowers are hurting. This is Joanne Williams. She's actually the head of the Michigan Loon Association.
Oh,
She's been
great.
the #1 research collector, data coordinator for loons ever since the Loon Association in Michigan was formed. She's actually the head of about 350 loon rangers around the state.
Super.
And has been responsible for working with her group of developing loon nest islands, protecting loons, having legislation help protect wild shoreline, protect wetland areas and things. So she's been very, very active.
She must know
And-
Paul up there in the UP at Wakefield then.
Yeah.
The Lone Ranger up there. We did a story on him some time ago. Yeah. Well, it's
But
nice
during
to
the
meet
winter
you.
months, the loons are down in the South
Southern-
Atlantic
yeah.
and the Gulf of Mexico,
Yeah.
which leaves her nothing to do.
So she helps you.
So we get her
Right,
out to do school
right.
programs. We do have a mounted loon out in the truck, which we sometimes bring in, depending
Uh-huh.
on the time allotment,
Uh-huh.
to introduce the kids to a loon up close as well. It's not alive.
Well, what you folks are doing are to really be commended, because we need more folks like you out in the field doing what you're doing to educate older folks and as well as the younger ones to preserve this great beauty and great nature that we have. And what kind of an owl do you have there, Joe?
These are both eastern screech owls, but they come in a wide range of colors. Some of them, the whole owl is a very dark rusty red, or a very light sandy color, or kind of an orange. Others are almost totally black or a light silver. Some people say they look white at night, or a mix.
Now, these owls, they're here. Now, we don't see them during the daylight too much. They're night feeders, are they? Or?
True. Owls, part of their special technique is to be quiet. At night, quiet is very important. But the trade-off is they give up speed. Oh, his head's arm backwards. And so by being quiet at night, they're not fast. And during the daytime, birds will pick on them.
Yeah.
Crows, blue jays, blackbirds, even chickadees have been known to pick on them.
Is that right?
Because they can outfly them.
Where do they hold up at? Do they in trees?
These guys prefer old growth forest, old oaks and maples type of thing.
In a
And they
hole in a
prefer
tree?
hollow cavities, yep. So they're a cavity nester.
And their food is probably what, mice and stuff? Or?
During the summer, they actually eat an awful lot of insects.
Oh, really?
We've had people call up and report seeing giant bats. And it's these guys chasing
Yeah.
bugs up in the sky.
Yeah. These are full grown, are they?
These are full-grown adult screech owls. And then during the winter, they switch over to catching mice.
These would be the more common owl here in Michigan?
In the old forest areas, they used to be very, very common. Part of the problems, though, is that if a great horned owl could catch them, he would kill them.
Oh, boy.
So any place you cut down the trees and open up the forest and great horned owls move in, then these other owls tend to go way down in numbers.
What's the life expectancy of an owl?
In the wild, the little screech owl is usually about 6, 7 years old. The longest band return we've ever had on a screech owl in the wild in the Great Lakes is 9. Great horned owls, commonly to be old, they're like 12 to 15 years old, once in a while, a little older.
Are these birds, do they mate for life too?
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
There are lots of exceptions because their populations do go through disruptions with logging and everything. If they're young and they lose a mate, they'll usually remate. If they're older, they quite often won't. But most of our birds of prey, most of the time, will mate for life.
Yeah.
We'll learn more about the great work of the Wildlife Recovery Association and perhaps learn how you may become involved through volunteerism on the future edition of Michigan Magazine. Join us then as we continue our visit with biologist and Wildlife Recovery Association member Joe Rogers.
Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Oscoda County's Timberland Quilt Trail. Tour our quilt trail next time you're in northeastern Lower Michigan. Cedar Valley Golf Club on Weaver Road, Cummins, Michigan. The beautiful Woodworker Shop located directly across the street from the Skyline Event Center. Detweiler Chalets of Fairview open all year. New recreational trails on man-made lakes. Cummins Market in downtown Cummins, the best little store in town. The Kirtland Insurance Agency, your independent agents in Lewiston and Mayo. Fairview Food Market, famous for their fresh and home smoked meats, located on the corner in Fairview. Historic mod dealers of Luzerne, your hosts Mo and Bert Smith invite you to enjoy good food, drink, and company. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of Northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile. Hingeman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mile, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Oscoda River. A family getaway for over 75 years.
I have been painting for, about 17 years now. So I do oils, watercolors, acrylics, and because I think Michigan scenery has so much to offer, I like to capture things from Michigan, mostly. Some of Mackinac Island, and also just landscapes, and sometimes people doing something in the landscape, and I do commissions if there's a special thing somebody would like. And just trying to capture that which I believe the Lord's given me a talent, and I want to use it and bring peace and joy to the viewer as best I can, trying to capture some of His creation. So,
There you go. Are you from around here?
yes, I live near here, probably within 5 to 10 miles from here, if that.
Very good. Can we take a look at some of your
Sure.
works here? Let's go over there and show us what you got here.
Well, I do have a print that happens to be right here.
Okay.
And this is of some lilacs and a swallowtail, and
Right.
that would be an oil that is now made into a print.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's something common in this area, lilacs and butterflies.
Oh yes, and over here I'll take you to
Okay.
a couple originals
All right.
that will be around the corner here. Some apple blossoms up there,
Oh, let's get a close-up of that.
and there's some either raindrops or dewdrops on there. I tried to capture that, and this one I made up from my imagination to capture like a garden scene
Okay.
and a peaceful like sun ray and kind of an older fashioned feel to it. So
Okay, let's go.
sometimes I'll do that just from my imagination, or I'll use photographs, or I'll paint outdoors on location.
Okay. All right. Beautiful.
So
Wonderful. So, what's on tap now? What have you got that you're working on? Anything special that you can tell us about?
well, I've been busy working this winter. It's been kind of a long winter, so
Yeah,
it
it
has given me the opportunity to be in the art studio
Okay.
to finish some projects for Mackinac Island. I also
Okay.
have some work there and lilacs and lace. And also I've been working on some gift items for different friends and family and commissions. Some of the Oscoda River, which is a gem pier.
Yeah.
And I did a winter, a fall, and kind of a spring-summer scene of the Oscoda over this winter.
So, what is it that that stirs your soul, that has you picking up the brush and putting it on the canvas? What's your favorite subject?
Well, I would say, it varies so much. It kind of depends a lot on the moment and the lighting and just a feel that it's hard to describe. I think it has to just speak to me for a memory or a purpose, and sometimes it's just strictly because it's beautiful, or... And then if I do a commission, I like to kind of visit with the person and kind of get a feel for what they want. And if we connect on it, I try to really capture what they want. I always felt I've had a creative side, and I didn't explore it that much in college. And I started out that direction, and I kind of went a different way. And then I kind of got off track, I think, a little bit, and went a little more on the organizational business side type, which has helped me in this, but as I was in another job, I started feeling like I wanted something different, and so I explored, and I took a night class. It was a pottery class, and I really liked it, and I thought, well, I'd really like to learn to paint. I've kind of always been interested in that, and so I thought, well, all the classes are kind of during the day, and I decided to quit my full-time job and go into art, so that was the transition time for me.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
For home, medical, and healthcare products, visit Rose City Drug at 2640 North M33, just south of Rose City city limits. Rose City Drug has a complete diabetic department, including shoes. Serving Michigan for over 20 years. Rose City Drug, Rose City. Thanks for joining us here on Michigan Magazine. Today's phrase of the week is rescue, rehabilitate, and release. That's the mission of today's guest, Joe Rogers of the Wildlife Recovery Association. Send the phrase to us, and you could win big from Michigan Magazine. Send your name and address and phone number to iWatchMichiganMagazine@gmail.com or on a card or in a letter to Michigan Magazine Sweepstakes Box 424, West Branch, Michigan 48661. And we'll see you on the next edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Thunder Bay Resort, a destination for all seasons with special events and packages. Thunder Bay Resort in Hillman. Tin Lizzie's 50s and 60s Diner of Mayo, a Michigan dining destination. Cops and Donuts and the Traffic Stop Diner, open 7 days a week and 24/7 during the summer. Amish Country Natural Products of Mayo, featuring area arts, crafts, food, and all natural products. Luzerne Hardware, downtown Luzerne, more than just a hardware. Hitchman Acres, Cabins and Canoes of Mayo. The Mayo Mud Bogs, July 5th and August the 30th. Planning your special day? Canyons Resort on beautiful Sage Lake can make it happen. Enjoy a beachfront wedding. Everything in one location. Food, beverage, lodging, and entertainment. Canyons handles everything from floral arrangements to the wedding cake. Call now to reserve your special day at Canyons. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox. With this ingenious rebounding pole, your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com.